Salutations friends, welcome back to my channel. Today is an updated review. Yes, I'm finally reviewing, officially, Melodie de L'Amour from Parfums Dusita Parfums. Now, I quite literally did a first impressions of this over 5 years ago, March 10th, 2017. And if you follow my channel, I don't believe many of you do, but if you have watched any of my videos talking about white flowers, fragrances for summer, fragrances for winter, sexy fragrance, in almost like a third of my recommendation videos, especially for talking about white flowers, I will be like, I'm gonna recommend like an honorable mention, but I don't have the bottle, Melodie de L'Amour. I finally bought this bottle. So I'm going to review this fragrance for you, but I've quite literally been loving this fragrance for over half a decade, so let's get into the video. Probably caught it in the beginning, but just to be official, transparency purposes, I bought this. I bought this during Lucky Scents. They had like a 15% off sale. I bought 3 fragrances, 2 from the house, also Splendiris, because that fragrance is also beautiful and I've loved it forever. And I bought Aquaba from Aquaba. I will be reviewing that one. Very underappreciated fragrance, but this was purchased. Now, the fragrances from this house are luxury niche. They are luxury niche price. This particular one is one of the more pricey fragrances. For 50 ml, you're looking at spending full retail price, $350. Now, this is a Gardenia scent. I don't know if people know much about Gardenia and perfumery. In my opinion, it is very hard to capture a true Gardenia note. And for me, I love Gardenia. I've talked about on my channel. You might have heard me talk about it if you watched a few of my videos. I went to sleep growing up to the scent of jasmine because there's a giant night blooming jasmine bush outside of my window. That's why when I talk about Oud Jasmine from Royal Crown, I say that's literally the scent of my dreams, because that's the most perfect translation to going to sleep to like cool night air, you know, wood and jasmine and all that stuff. You know, that's why I call that the scent of my dreams, because going to sleep to the scent of jasmine. But right outside the front door, a little bit off to the side, we had a giant gardenia bush. So I would wake up to the scent of gardenia. So for me, gardenia holds near a special place in my heart, scent-wise, as jasmine. So I do have a very strong feelings about gardenia scents, and very rarely are they successful for a variety of different reasons, but we won't go into that. However, I think that this fragrance, Melodie de L'Amour, and I'm gonna butcher that name, you're gonna hear me say it 6 different ways, so just get your little comment section ready for the correct pronunciation. This, in my opinion, is the most successful gardenia fragrance in a way that I think is beautiful and sexy and wearable and timeless, and captures white florals in a way that I don't find them to be properly represented, especially when they are naturally that way. That's spicy. Now, normally, I do love spicy white florals. You guys know I love a spicy jasmine. I love spicy white florals. I love indolic white florals. I like creamy white florals. I like musky white. I like white florals. But jasmine is one of those white florals that can go a variety of different ways. Lily is one of those white florals and get a little spicy and dry, a little gingery, zesty, spicy. Gardenia in and of itself, in the air, smells creamy and spicy. To my nose, the spice is less gingery and it's more kind of like meaty pink peppery, a little less gingery and a little bit more kind of fruity spicy, like a pink pepper. It kind of hits your nose in a way that a pepper would, and less like a ginger zesty would, less like fruity juicy. And what I like about that is that it's something really sexy on the skin, and it also works really well year round. So if you're looking white florals for summer, a nice spicy white floral is fantastic. Also, a creamy indolic white floral is excellent too. And guess what this is? A fantastic creamy white floral. So the notes in this fragrance are gonna have a gardenia note. There's also gonna be some tuberose, jasmine, lily of the valley. There's gonna be broom. You're gonna have honey, peach, and at the base, you're going to have cedar and musk. Now, the least impressive note in here, but it's not that it's least impressive, it's more of a mayonnaise of the scent, and that would be the jasmine. The jasmine works more to help blend the white florals together, and what it also does, it helps balance the musk and the cedar. The musk and the cedar, in my opinion, add a bit of a maturity and an aromatic woodiness that work to make this fragrance not smell too overpowering with sweet florals. And that adds a nice layer of complexity and makes this a little bit more appropriate as something that could be both casual and formal. I like when scents have something more than just this just smells like rose. It smells like rose and pepper and oak moss, and there's a little bit of musk in there. The layers to a scent, even if they're not really more of what you smell, but they kind of add to the experience of the texture and the presence on the skin. And maybe they make it a little bit more of a clarity, maybe they make it more syrupy, maybe they make it stronger in regards to spicier and woodier, maybe they make it more fresh and oak mossy and drier. And this fragrance, the muskiness with the white floral, smells a lot like those more mature, very classic white floral scents you would smell everywhere. You know, inexpensive fragrances that smell very beautiful and the very luxurious experience. Luxurious fragrances you'd smell as well. Musk and white florals go together really well. Sometimes if they're not balanced properly, they can smell more dated and less mature and sophisticated. Mature and sophisticated all the way. Still very timeless. So the nice thing about this fragrance is it does smell like something that is very versatile. It smells like something that you could wear for special occasions, and it's also casual enough that you could wear it every day. The white florals in here are spicy and present enough for it to be worn in more colder, brisker weather, but the spicy indolic white florals also pair really beautifully and work gorgeously in hot weather. So I like that this is the type of fragrance that, yes, it is on the pricier side, but this is a fragrance that you will get a lot of wear out of, especially if you are a white floral lover. Now this fragrance is going to open with musk and a spicy floral mixture, and it's going to be also a little bit on the drier side. And I've noticed that the more I wear this fragrance, the more I pick up less creamy and more spicy notes. And I think that's because the first year or two, because I did purchase decants and little lucky scent samples of this, I noticed that when I used the dabber on my skin, it smelled more creamy and indolic. And when I used an atomizer, it was more aromatic and spicy. However, that was just more of the opening, the first 25 to say 45 minutes. Then it dries down to pretty much like the identical way that it smells, which is a nice feast of flowers. But when you're spraying this on your skin, it's gonna be a spicy, peppery blast, and you're gonna get more of the musk on your skin. After it develops on your skin, I'd say around 30 to 45 minutes, everything's gonna come to the party. And that doesn't mean that it smells linear, it doesn't mean that the party's over. It's just everything kind of comes out and then everything kind of settles in. So what's gonna happen is the spiciness from the gardenia note is going to pair with the gingery, meaty spiciness of the lily of the valley. It's gonna get a tiny bit more dry from the broom, and it's going to get a little bit more indolic and creamier from the tuberose. Now, all of these different kind of vibes and feelings like hot, cold, sour, sweet, you know, all these things could conflict, but the jasmine actually comes in, and like I said, like the mayonnaise, it kind of smooths everything out and everything works together like a beautiful floral arrangement of a variety of different flowers that are meticulously put together, and everything works together so effortlessly and so beautifully, and it's just beautiful. You're picking up everything. You're being able to pick up spiciness and creaminess and even a little bit of saltiness, just a little bit. I feel like the musk and the cedar come together, add a little bit of aromatic, it kind of mimics just a tiny bit of saltiness in the background, just a little bit. It's not like it's a salty fragrance or briny or anything like that. But sometimes with peppers, it's almost like you're expecting a tiny bit of acidity. And that saltiness just in the background, just a touch sometimes, not all the time, not full time. It adds something else to your nose. This is a fragrance that is fun to smell, but it also smells really sexy and really beautiful. And I also like how it is sweetened with fruits and honey. It's kind of nectarish. And what that does is it adds to this transportive, kind of really beautiful, luscious, delicious composition that white florals can have, something creamy and indolic and different and exotic, like fruits and honeys and, you know, like hummingbirds and all that jazz. And peach is a beautiful note. I love stone fruits in perfumes. Even peaches in and of themselves, they smell very sweet and very fruity and very juicy, but they're still kind of, in my opinion, stone fruits, even peaches, have like an elegance and maturity to them. There's something about them that smells a little bit more concentrated, and that little bit more concentration adds to the experience and almost the nuances to a fragrance. And the honey is just a beautiful fragrance because it's not just adding a sweetness, it's also adding how honey smells. And again, that works gorgeous with this creamy tuberose. And so everything comes together to be sweet and spicy and gingery zesty and meaty and dry and aromatic. And there's so many different ways that this fragrance smells, but it also just smells beautiful and effortless and gorgeous on the skin. And even though it has all of these different smells and notes and experiences coming together, when you smell this, it smells like gardenia. And I think that that is so smart because it does very much smell like a gardenia fragrance that has a lot of different things going on with it. And I think that that is just so beautiful and so brilliant because you can have a fragrance smell like something, but that doesn't mean that it solely has to smell like that one thing. You can have a rose fragrance, but that doesn't mean that it only smells like rose. It can have a lot of different things going on with it, and that's what this fragrance is. It is a beautiful white floral fragrance that can be worn any time of year. And if you're looking for a near masterpiece or a literal masterpiece of a gardenia fragrance, I think that Melodie de L'Amour is gorgeous. And if you have followed my channel, you know I've been talking about this fragrance for over 5 years. You know, I love this scent. And if you also want to know something, this has been on the top of my must-buy list for the past 3 years. At least 2 years, probably 3. It is a holy grail fragrance of mine. Absolutely love it. Gorgeous scent. If you like spicy florals, if you like creamy florals, if you like andalic florals, if you like white flowers, if you like spicy aromatic scents, if you're looking for a scent for summer, winter, fall, casual, formal, try and at least get a sample or a decant of it. It's definitely worth checking out. Also for performance on my skin, again, remember body chemistry is different, environment's different. I get excellent performance. I get about 6 to 8 hours. It definitely becomes more musky and I would say more lily the longer it's on my skin, but you don't completely lose everything. It's still creamy, you still got a beautiful gardenia, but it becomes a little bit more gingery, zesty lily on my skin, but it's still very beautiful and I love it. But I get that more towards the 6 to 8 hour mark. And for projection, I would say moderate projection, and so yeah, it sure does perform pretty well. In any case, guys, that is my review of Melodie de L'Amour. You guys, again, if you followed my channel, you're gonna be like, she finally bought a freaking bottle of this perfume. And I will be reviewing Splendid Iris either next week or the week after, because again, I don't know why that bottle took me forever to buy either, but I've been meaning to purchase most of this, if not this entire house, for my collection. Absolutely love the scent, so I would love to know what you guys think. Have you tried this fragrance? Do you agree with me? Do you disagree with me? And what other fragrances out there that have a kind of a prominent gardenia note do you love? Let me know in the comment section below. As always, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time. Bye.